read you another dream that I've had. November 28th, 2017. This dream will sound kind of weird, but we'll look at it. I dreamed me and some other person had been south somewhere. Well, it came time to drive north home. Well, we were driving north and did so. It wasn't on a paved road, it was in a path that was a clearing, for the real big time, overhead power lines had to be grassy and, a wide clearing under those towers. And we drove for miles, the weather was sunny, and after miles and miles of this driving, we saw ahead 3 sets, like triads, or there were 3 of them put together. 3 sets of 3 power lines, big high power lines that were sorted down, they were draping kind of low, and a sign that said danger. We did not go near them. Then we looked up the hill, the weather was still sunny. It wasn't very far, the main road, wasn't very far. We just walked easily up the hill, about 100 feet, then realized, our houses were like only literally a few steps or feet away. And the place was in Georgia, Alatoona Landing. And it was not hard to get home because after a few more steps we were there after all the driving. I walked in the cabin and the weather was nice and nothing bad happened. And there was a song in the dream. It was Roses by Outkast. Y'all probably gonna say, whoa, wait a minute. But I'm gonna go on. The name of the song was Roses by Outkast. And it said this line specifically, real down to Mars, girl, even though you need a golden calculator to divide all the time it took to look inside and realize that half the time. It said that, and then there was part of the chorus in there, and it said about the roses and see what roses really smell like, and then no more graphic than that, and nothing bad ever happened to me. Let's just look at that. We had been south. The ways of this world is south, that's hell. And Babylon was judged. It came a time to drive north. God's in the sides of the north. Drive north home. And Jesus is power. And if you're connected to Him, you have power. And then there's going to be the power, of this world. And it's getting about that time, and the threes, Jesus spent 3 days. He died and rose 3 days. And there were 3 sets of those lines. And they were kind of down and hanging low. War is coming. And that path, when we were driving up, it was very smooth. It was very easy. And the funny thing was there wasn't any transmission towers in it. The power lines were running from the opposite way across it, and we saw the sign that said danger. The danger is a judgment on Babylon, and that's what that is. And that's not the right source of power is what it's trying to communicate. The Antichrist system is coming, and that's the wrong source of power. And there's a satanic trinity too, and that's 3s, and it said danger. So see, we turned in the dream, the weather was still good. And good weather in a dream represents, the favor of God the blessing over your life. We saw the danger sign. We didn't go near it, meaning that we heeded what our Bible said. And we walked up the hill. Notice we weren't going down, you go up. That's the right way to be going. We saw the main road. And the main road should be Jesus. And that should be the main line right there. And we walked easily up there. He had already paid the price. And then just a few more steps, and we were at Allatoona Landing. You notice you got the word all in that, and it's at a lake, Allatoona Lake, in Georgia. And Jesus paid the price for all people, to land in heaven. And lake represents ministry. And there was cabins there. And we're going to read this about cabins. Jeremiah 37, verses 15 and 16. This is when the priests and all that were mad at Jeremiah about his word, the persecution. Wherefore the princes were wroth with Jeremiah and smote him, and put him in prison in the house of Jonathan the scribe. For they made that the prison. Verse 16, when Jeremiah was entered into the dungeon and into the cabins, and Jeremiah had remained there many days. And that was like a certain compartment. It's telling you that the time of Christian persecution is fixing to happen, the cabins. And look at what happened to Jeremiah there. It's in the Bible. And that's why the word cabin came up. And if you believe in Jesus, He's already taken that. He's already taken that. He's already been persecuted. He died in our place. And that's why the walk was easy to our cabins and we were home. You believe in Him, nothing bad will happen. And I'm sure all of you are probably scratching your head, why would such a song be in a dream like that? Well, here's the answer to it. If you don't believe in Jesus, be cast into outer darkness, cast out of God's presence. Think like children, that's an outcast. And roses have got thorns on them. They'll look real pretty, but if you grab them, think like children. The thorns will prick your hands and you'll let go of them real fast, and they're not what you think they are. It's like seeing a hot stove when you were a little kid and you didn't know about hot, seeing that color and reach up and grab it. You don't do it but one time. You learn your lesson. And roses are usually red, and red usually signifies sin. It can represent redemption. Usually it represents, a more serious warning, in the physical realm. And we'll just look at this line. The line, it said, reel down to Mars. Notice it said down. You go down, that's the wrong way. Mars is the god of war. Reel down to Mars. Girl. The girl, is the harlot of Mystery Babylon. Reel down to Mars, girl. Or, it's going down. It's fixing to be war on Babylon. Even though you'd need a golden calculator, Babylon's the head of gold, and she was the financial center of the whole world. Even though you'd need a golden calculator to divide, America was divided, real divided. You'd need a golden calculator to divide. All the time it took to look inside and realize she didn't know who she was because she was divided. And the head of gold, and then half the time means lukewarm. She was lukewarm, and therefore it was absolutely nothing. It was half the time. And It tells you right there in the chorus, like children. I know you like, I'd like to think about the roses and what they smell like. In a nice way, I'll just say, things are not what you think they are is what that means. And if you ever dream about a toilet in a dream, which is a nice way of saying it, that just simply represents getting rid of spiritual things and baggage that you don't need, is what that means. And if you believe in Jesus, nothing bad, will ever happen, but you probably will go through some persecution. But if you just keep believing, nothing bad, will happen. And if it does, Jesus will take care of you if you just believe Him. And the word power lines. Jesus is the main road and the main power line. And also the danger sign can have a double meaning to America. That, she sinned and things are just not good. The power lines. November 28th, 2017.